Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Jen Taylor with the Smart Move group of Keller Williams, and I thank you so much for tuning in. Today the video that I am creating is going to be about pricing your home. So this is for sellers. So if you currently own a home and you're thinking about selling, we're going to be discussing pricing strategies. So this is really important, to help you prepare and set the right expectations going into a home sale, especially if you've never done it before, right? It's like, who knows what pricing strategies are and who knows what's right and what's wrong. So today's video is gonna be exactly about that. So let's just jump right into it, right? Pricing strategies. You wanna sell your house. That ultimately, I would believe, if you list your house for sale, would be the end goal, right? So one thing just to air out real quick is that as a seller, you need to realize that even though you may think you're not emotionally attached to your home, chances are there is some sort of emotional attachment. I always go into a listing appointment talking about the emotional sale because each party, a buyer and a seller, both have emotional situations that they're going to be put in during the home selling, buying process. So as a home seller, you need to be aware of the emotional side to selling your home, how you feel and also how the buyer feels. All right, we got that? Okay, so pricing strategy number one. Pricing strategy number one is a no-no. All right, we never want to do this. I don't know how many times I've walked into a listing appointment and these are some of the words that come out of my seller's mouth. I want to price it a little bit high, so that there's negotiation room. Crickets. That's because that's what you're going to get, okay? When you price your home high, you have to think of how the buyer perceives that. If you know it's high, they know it's high. Their agent knows it's high. Everybody knows it's high. All right, so they're going to be walking into the home, even if they set up the showing, knowing that the seller has chosen to price their house high. Why? They don't know, but what does everybody do? They jump to the furthest negative conclusion. Maybe you're a difficult person to deal with. Maybe you think your house is worth more than it is. The chances of you actually getting an offer when you price your home high is so much less than if you were to just price it accordingly to what your market value is, or even going the aggressive route. So don't price your house over what it's worth just because you want the wiggle room. It's going to send the wrong message to the buyers that are out there looking. It's going to send the wrong message to the agents. It's going to force you to start off your sale with a negative conversation, right? The buyer is already going to come at you probably with a lower offer than what your asking price is because of the negotiation that you think is going to occur, and the likelihood of them being able to or willing to wiggle on what they want versus what you want is going to be damaged immediately. It already sets the wrong tone going into the sale. So as a seller, don't price your house high, please. And if your agent is going to allow you to do it, make sure you at least have the proper expectations, that you know that this is the risk that you're deciding to take and you're willing to take that. Because, there are so many times where I am very blunt with my sellers. If they do choose to go that route against my advice, that they're going to know where I stand, at least. That I don't agree with their pricing strategy. However, we'll try it if that's the way that they want to do. Ultimately, I think it hurts sellers in the end, because there comes price reductions, days on market. There's so many other factors that roll into the perceived value of your home that when you price it high, it just doesn't factor right. So moving on, don't price your house high. Pricing according to what your current market value is. So when you do this, you're setting yourself up for that nice sale, right? You've looked at your condition, you've looked at your comps, you've looked at your location, you've looked at, are you priced accordingly to how others are selling in your neighborhood, your zip code, your area, your school district, however your agent wants to scan the area for comps, right? I usually try and pinpoint down on a neighborhood, and if I can't find something in that neighborhood, I'll go out within that school district, and it's always within whatever the appraiser's guidelines are, and usually that's going to be within a mile radius and within 1 year of the sale. So pricing accordingly to condition and location is really important. And if you price it that way, the likelihood of you getting a motivated buyer within the first 30 days on market is very high. It's the most simple way to list your home. It's the most simple thing to explain. I'm going to price my house for what my home is worth. Great. Now, third pricing strategy is going to be my favorite, and that's just because I'm a risk taker and I like it, right? I think that at the end of the day, it creates that emotional tie to the property from the buyer's perspective, which you ultimately want as a seller. You want buyers to have that emotional attachment to your home as soon as they walk into it. You want them to be able to feel like it's their home, like they can see themselves living there, they can see their furniture, they can see everything. And how do you get the volume of buyers through the door so that you can create that emotional attachment from some of them, right? Now that's going to be the aggressive pricing strategy. That is taking what you know your current market value is. So you've done the research, your agent's done the research, you know what you need to price at according to condition and location, you know what your value is. And you price it right below it. This creates the mindset in the buyer's mind that, oh my gosh, we need to go see this right now. We need to go look at this house. This is our dream house. We need to have it. Before they even seen the property, they already need to have it in their head. And that's the emotional attachment that you want created before they even come and see your house. This leads to multiple offers. This leads to over asking. This leads to minimized inspections. This leads to appraisals being a little bit more lenient on the buyer side. Maybe if they're so emotionally drawn into it and there is an appraisal issue, they're more likely to work with you. It creates such a great environment for the sale and for your happiness and their happiness that it just meshes so well. With the aggressive pricing strategy, you have to be willing to trust your agent. So if you don't trust your agent, that's probably one thing that you need to address before you even list your house, is find an agent that you trust. But going the pricing strategy, you need to trust what their opinion is, because you know, they know that what this has the possibility of doing. Pricing aggressively has the possibility of creating that welcomed chaos almost. So, you know, it really is my favorite strategy to use, just because I like it when there's lots of activity, when there's lots of feedback, when there's lots of offers, when there's lots of favorable terms for my seller, and we get to pick and choose and we can ask for highest and best. You're happy, the buyers are happy, everybody's happy in the aggressive pricing strategy sale. So if you had to choose one, just think about it. You can price high, you can price at market, or you can price aggressively. Those are your three pricing strategies. But at the end of the day, always remember your goal. And you're going to hear me talk about your goals a lot in all of my videos, because that's what it comes down to. A good agent always knows what her client's goals are. So remember what your goal is. Your goal is to sell the property. How fast do you want to sell it? For how much? What is your next step? You need to determine all of those things. Talk to your agent, make sure you trust them, and determine what your best pricing strategy is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you picked up little nuggets of information that might be useful in the future. If you think this video might help somebody that you know, maybe you're not in the market yet, but your cousin is, or your friend or your coworker or somebody, hit share, like, comment if you know of a topic that you might like me to discuss in the future. And always subscribe, the subscribe button somewhere around here. Subscribe to my channel, and we will be back soon. Bye.